Hey guys, it's Davey T from Field Sports Scotland. That's the first video I've done in a while. I'm going to do a scope ring change for the 6.5 Creedmoor. I'm going to take these Warne mounts scope rings off, and we are going to replace them with these TierOne 30mm ones. Hopefully this is going to look a lot better than what these ones are. Obviously these not as slimline, but they've been doing the job, but they've held zero. I just fancy a little bit more quality scope ring. TierOne are renowned for good quality, so we'll see how we get on. So first of all, I'm going to take this one off and find the right torque for it. It should be there. That's it. So we'll take the scope rings off first. With the Warne ones, it's best to remove from the rail first and then just release slightly as you need to from the top. There we go. That was nice and quick. Best thing to do is try not to lose these. That's the problem with Warnes. They don't have a built-in rail stopper, or whatever you want to call it. Don't lose these. You get two, one for each mount. Now we'll remove the screws. This is a Zeiss V6 scope. As you probably remember, I've done a few reviews on these. I ended up purchasing one myself. I quite liked it. Doesn't have any fancy reticles. It's just, but it's got the ASV locking turret, which is brilliant. It's been a while since I've had this off. It's kind of weird taking it off considering it's been shooting so well, but I really did want a better looking set of mounts on this. See how it's picked up a bit of moisture under there, so we'll get that cleaned off once. Get a rag to it. So don't take much, just a bit of. So we'll take this one off again. TierOne are renowned for good quality scope rings, but I do like these Warne mounts as well because they do lock in place and they are fantastic. It's and when they're all set properly, there is no issues with them. A bit tight there. Just make sure there's no crimping in the scope. Quick rub over it. Yeah, no crimping or anything. So that's the scope off. It's taking me a couple of seconds. So first job, put the scope aside for a second, is to set the rings. So first things first, we'll take the tops off. Now I picked these scope rings up second hand. The brand new, they were £110, but I picked them up for about 65 quid second hand, so it's always worthwhile looking about for them. These ones are in pretty good nick. There's no marks or anything on them. The reason why I'm taking the top off and not just sticking the rings back in straight off is I want to see where the position of the scope is. Obviously I'll adjust the position of the scope before tightening up the top ring. You just take these off. Hey, we're there. So that's that one. I'll do number 2. I try not to take them all the way out because I don't want to lose any screws. So, and you kind of have to remember which one. So, for instance, you match the top with the base all the time, because otherwise there could be a slight variation in the milling of the screws. So I've found that with a lot cheaper ones, when they do mill out the rings and the bases, when they mill out the rings and the bases, they definitely do seem to mill out the screw. They do seem to match the screws with their holes for some reason or another. So, right, I'm going to turn the rifle round because I want the screws to go into the other side. Stuff. So I've turned the rifle around a bit, so because I want the mounting screws to be at this side. So that's back, and they're here. This is personal preference, really. I kind of make sure that it's either side of the ejection gap. I can feel it there. Then I position the scope to see how it looks. And it gives me plenty of movement forward. Plenty of movement forward. The scope seems to sit nicely onto it. And what we'll do is we'll tighten it up. Now, a lot of guys, I normally, over the years, kind of know what my tensions are. But recently I've I purchased a torque wrench, a torque screwdriver. Picked this up for about 20 odd quid. Now the recommended base settings from TierOne for this, for these rings is 6 Nm. So I've set my torque wrench to just under the 6, because I obviously don't want to over tighten them, but also you don't want them slack. So we'll tighten these up to here. To be fair, with 6 Nm, you're going to need muscles of steel to torque it up to that. So it's not going to go anywhere near that. So if you can get it as close to that as possible. There we go, that's 6. That's 6. Now that's tight. That is proper tight. Right. Now, for the next part, I kind of need to move away from the... I kind of need to move away from it. What I need to do is level the scope. So, and get a good eye relief. So the best thing to do with that is to put the scope in place first. And that's the back. flip it round. And we'll screw these down. So you don't want to screw these down tight just now because you want to make sure that the reticle's level. You just want to hold the scope in place so you can move the rifle about. Now, if you don't have a torque wrench or a torque screwdriver, I always stick to the rule that if you can tighten up to a 1/4 turn and then just finger tighten it after that. So I got to make sure that this is still movable. Then what we'll do is stick the next one on. Already that looks a lot better, to be honest. Move that forward a bit. Might need to slacken this off a little because it's still a little tight. There we go. That's better. So we'll stick this one down. Now I do crisscross, but then again I was always taught to do that when I was doing cylinder head. Oops, don't want to slip. Cylinder heads for cars, so you always do kind of a figure-8 motion. So I kind of do that. You don't really need to, it's not a big deal. It's slacken that a little. But it's good to get the pressure right. When you're dealing with a cylindrical tube, it's probably ideal to do that. Right, now to level the crosshairs. I'll take the rifle away for a second. I'm sure you all know how to do this. Pretty level. Right. Those are pretty level. Now we can put this back and we can torque it up for you. Now, TierOne say that these mounts have to be torqued in at 2 Nm. So we'll set my little torque screwdriver. Now you can get like digital ones and that, but my one uses a kind of ratchet. So what we'll do is we have to change the head. That would be ideal. And so we get them down to level first. No. That's 2. That's 2. There we go, that's all torqued up, and that is us done. So it's taken us about 15 minutes to change from one set of scoot rings to another, but then again I'm doing it a little bit longer because of the fact that I'm obviously checking crosshairs and obviously try to do it for the benefit of the video. Do it a lot quicker. Now that looks a heck of a lot better than the older style, the other ones which were a little bit more pony, because that's what they would have looked like. That's what it would look like. So there we go. That's me swapped over from Warne mounts to TierOne. There we go. Thanks for watching. Subscribe to the channel, and I'll do a little bit more. I'm going to do some stocking soon. I will be doing some extra kind of shooting little bits as well, doing a bit of field testing and things of equipment. With this COVID lockdown, we've been kind of slow lately, but we're going to pick it up. I'm going to go and have my soup. You guys have fun. Keep hunting, fishing, and loving every day. Thanks. Bye.